Ch-Idgah. Eid has come a full 30 days after Ramzan. The entire village is full of hustle and bustle. Preparations to go to the Idgah are in full swing. For youngsters, the long-awaited day has finally arrived. They jingle the coins in their pockets, take them out to count them, and replace them joyfully. With this treasure, they are going to buy countless things: toys, sweets, bugles, balls, and whatnot. The happiest boy of all is Hamid. He is a poor, ill-clad, skinny child of 4 or 5. He lives with his old grandmother, Amina, and is as happy as he has always been. Hamid runs into the house and tells his grandmother not to worry. Amina's heart aches. How can she let her little one go alone? What if he gets lost? She cannot go with them. The villagers finally leave for the Idgah, the children running ahead. Hamid is with them. Suddenly, they spot the Idgah. There are rows upon rows of worshippers stretching well beyond the courtyard of the mosque. The people from Hamid's village take their place in the back rows after washing their hands and feet. What a beautiful sight it is! The simultaneous bowing of thousands of heads in prayer. So many worshippers standing erect together, then bowing down together and sitting on their knees. The namaz is over. People meet and embrace each other. Then they head for the toy shops and the sweet shops. 1 paisa for a ride on the swing, taking you up into the air, then hurling you down to earth, and 1 paisa for 25 rounds on the roundabout. Mahmood, Mohsin, Noori, and Sami climb on to the wooden horses and camels and go round and round joyfully. Hamid stands apart. He has only 3 paise. He cannot afford to spend 1/3 of his precious money on a mere roundabout. His friends dismount and run across to the row of toy shops. Mahmood buys a soldier in a khaki uniform and red turban. Mohsin buys a water carrier, ready to sprinkle water on dusty roads. Noori gets a lawyer dressed in a black gown with a gold watch chain and a fat law book in his hand. All these toys cost 2 paise each, too expensive for Hamid to buy.
They are only of clay.
He tells his friends.
One fall and they'll break.
Yet he looks at the toys with envious eyes and wants to play with them. From the toy shops, the boys move to the shops selling mithai. Here, one of the boys buys rabari, the other buys gulab jamun, and a third buys halwa. Hamid buys nothing. He has only 3 paise to spend, but he cannot help eyeing the sweets in the hands of his friends. After the mithai shops are some hardware stores and some shops selling jewelry. The boys are not attracted to these. They move on. But Hamid stops before a pile of chimtas, iron tongs. His grandmother doesn't have a pair of tongs. Each time she makes chapatis, she burns her fingers. How happy she will be if he buys a pair of tongs for her. Toys are worthless in comparison. You tire of them or they get broken. Hamid looks at his friends who are drinking sherbet at a nearby stall.
How greedy they are. They have eaten so many sweets and not given me even one,
Hamid thinks. Hamid asks the shopkeeper.
How much is this chimta?
6 paise.
Is the reply. Hamid's heart sinks, but he says boldly,
3 paise.
To his surprise, the shopkeeper gives the chimta to him. Hamid struts up to his friends with the chimta on his shoulder.
What will you do with this?
Laughs Mohsin. Hamid flings his tongs on the ground and challenges Mohsin to throw down his clay water carrier in the same way. Mohsin cannot.
Do you think this chimta is some kind of toy?
Sneers Mahmood.
Why not?
Says Hamid.
Put it on your shoulder, it becomes a gun. Hold it in your hand, it becomes the tongs singing fakir's use. One hit from my chimta and all your toys will break, but none of them can harm my lion-hearted warrior.
His tongs have fascinated all the boys. But what can they do? They have no money left, and anyway it is time to return home. The boys are quite eager to handle the tongs. In exchange, they offer their toys to Hamid for his examination.
What beautiful toys they are. I was only pulling your leg,
Says Hamid.
How can a pair of tongs compare with such lifelike toys?
It is 11 o'clock. Those who had gone to the Idgah have just returned. Hamid's grandmother, Amina, goes to him as soon as she hears his voice and takes him lovingly in her lap. She is startled to see the tongs. Hamid tells her he bought the tongs for 3 paise.
What a peculiar child! He remained hungry and thirsty the whole morning, and all he could find to buy was a pair of tongs?
Amina thinks. She scolds him for his foolishness. Hamid's feelings are hurt. He says,
Every day you burn your fingers while making chapatis. That is why I bought the chimta for you.
Amina's annoyance melts into love. How he must have felt when he saw his friends enjoying themselves. In the midst of all that festivity, he thought of his old grandmother. Tears fall from her eyes as she blesses Hamid 1,000 times. Little Hamid.